Right, here we go. This was a little unplanned. Welcome to White Acres. So what's going on? Right, I'm at White Acres and I've just been fishing for a bit with my daughter. She's gone off to the beach with her mum and her brothers, left me on my own for the rest of the afternoon. So here it is. This is amazing. Let me just look at this lake. I've realised that my rigs are too short for this venue, so I've got to make some more up tonight. I'm fishing the match tomorrow, the open match, so I've got to make some more rigs. So I've just had some fun fishing short, catching some fish, and I've just started to feed some bait down the edge. So earlier it said that there wasn't a good enough signal, and it just said that there was, so I thought I'd just turn the camera on. So I've got them with me. So yeah, I'm just fishing down here. Just tighten that up. Just a top kit, just in line with the leg of that platform. Fishing corn and ground bait. I was going to fish maggots, but I caught a couple. I caught a perch, and I caught something else, and I had some corn with me, so I thought I'd just pop some corn on and fish corn. So, single piece of cord on a size 16 SLWG. I don't really know what's in the lake. I've caught some big chunky F1s, and I've seen a couple of bigger carp cruising. But anyway, I got a white hydro 017. I got a 0.4 crystal Drennan. Those should all be a bulk. I've got a 4-inch hook length to a size 16 SLWG, and I've just put a piece of corn on, single grain, and I'm feeding a little bit of ground bait through this guru pot. I've just had a couple of fish, so let's do this for a little bit. Just remove that extra section, and then probably I'm going to try and remove the phone. I'll be able to see everybody. Right, there we go. So I put that there. Tangle my rig. So yeah, just down there, and that rig like that. One's a little bit too early. No, it's a bite, that's why. I think they're ravenous. So it's a little bit different than normal for me, because you've got to have a 10-inch lash length between the top of the float and the top of the pole. So I'm fishing with a much longer lash than I normally would. So I've got a couple of back shots on to try and help stabilise the rig. Now I understand why I see people with such long lashes fishing at White Acres all the time. But yeah, I had one fish, and I thought I'd try and turn the cameras on. I can't remember, 1 or 2 fish. I thought, oh, let's get a stream going. Now what I'm doing is getting indications, of course, because I've just put a load of bait down there. Probably completely unnecessary. I could have just kept with the pot, but its head off. I'm going to change that pot in a second for a bigger pot. Yeah, let's just quickly change that pot. I have noticed there's a load of like rubbish in the bottom here. All sorts. I think it comes off these trees. Someone was suggesting. It sounds like a good answer. So let me get a different guru pot. Oh yeah. Maybe a couple of grains of corn and then cap it off with some ground bait. It's typical now. Caught fish, scored another fish, start a stream, no fish. So I've pulled that side drawer out and I'm not sitting round. Obviously I'm going to blame that. So I was wondering about tomorrow. If I can get a signal, then I will stream tomorrow the match. If I can't, I'll record it as normal. But hopefully draw near peg 25 and I'll stream the match. I don't know which lake we're fishing on tomorrow. I think I've decided this afternoon. Maybe decided already, I don't know, but and then what I'll do is I'll find out this afternoon. I'll have a quick run down the lake this evening and see if I can get a signal and get my mind whether I'm streaming or just going to record it for the day. But either way I'll record it, so it should be good. Well, I've managed to mess this edge up completely, haven't I? It was looking really good. You can trust me. darken its shadows now. Big old ghosty out there. It's just come in and gone back out again. It's coming back round for another go. Dob that fish. So I'm just trying to work out what I'm going to use for tomorrow. Corn did seem like a good idea a minute ago. 2 fish and 2 chucks. Now I'm not sure where I should fish. Pellet and micros, or I could fish corn and ground bait. I guess it will depend on how deep the margins are. Some of the margins I think are really deep in this venue, like 5 foot plus. Oh gosh, come on. Go back to fishing short. I'll just chuck a couple of pellets in. Maybe too much ground bait I put in. I don't think so though. I think it's just quite a lot of fish come in, that's the problem. Just getting a lot of liners and indications. Clouds of clouds of dirt coming up everywhere. Look at this big old lump here. It's probably a great day for fishing long and fishing a jigger. That's probably what I should be doing. Instead I'm playing around down the margins. It's not practice at all really, is it? It's glorious weather today. It's going to be horrible tomorrow, but today it's lovely. Can't get a proper bite. Note to self, don't start a stream up if you didn't plan to. When you're bagging, just in case it stops. I can see why people like it for festivals though. I'm going to get off this in a second, just go in front of me just to catch a fish. So be careful tomorrow, I think, if I put too much bait down these edges. I think because they're big F1, they're not carp, they're going to come in and make a right mess. Which I think is what's happened here. I put a big pot in and I caught off of it, and then they've spread that bait right out, I think. Now I've got fish all over the place. Kicking up dirt all over the place, just getting liners. And not real bites. Let's get off that a minute. See, what I'll do is I might, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with that now. Made a mess of that line, haven't I? Right, so this one out front, I was just fishing a 6mm pellet and just putting in some 2mm. Let's carry on with that. I'll come back to the edge in a minute. Just grabbed it straight away. Quick bite, isn't it? Just restart the stream. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll edit it. Welcome to White Acres. edited it back, but I've been catching in front of me just with a 6mm pellet, using some 2mm in the pot, fishing pretty standard, you know, short kit +1. I've come down to see, you know, how deep the lake was in the middle, and it's deeper than my short kits, so I've got to remake some kits for a match tomorrow. I don't know where it's going to be, but if it's on this lake then my kits aren't long enough, so I'm going to make some new kits tonight. But I've just been fishing short 6mm pellet with some 2mm. I've been catching out in front of me quite steadily, as you can see. And I just had a couple of fish down the edge, and then I started the stream, but I brought too many fish in there. I think it's made a right old mess, so we'll let them just eat everything down there for a bit and then get back down there afterwards. But yeah, but it's certainly been good action today. Not many people on the lake, maybe there's 6 or 7 anglers on the lake. I'm fishing on peg 25. No particular reason for picking it, apart from there were some people on the other side. I'm just having a little bit of a practice, get my arm in for the open match that I'm fishing tomorrow. I don't know which lake it's on, but I'll find out tomorrow. I guess it's either going to be, well, I don't know actually, no idea. Couldn't tell you, and don't mind either. But yeah, it's my first time here, and my first impressions of the place is really nice. I had a little fish last night up on Python Lake. Just brought my pellet waggler rod down with just a pole float on it. Just fished in the margins, indications after 5 minutes. And fished shortly after that. I was just fishing with one of my sons, and we had a great time. So looks like I might do that again this evening, but for now just practice getting my eye in, catching some F1s before the match tomorrow. And I didn't have a good signal, I thought, this morning, and then for some reason the signal's got better, so I thought I'd pop a stream on, say hello to everyone and catch a few fish. There's certainly a few here, that's for sure. I was saying I should probably be practicing fishing a jigger out in front of me. You can't overshot here, you can't tap, so I suspect that there's a lot of jigger fishing. I didn't bring them, but I bought a couple from the shop this morning, so I'll rig them up tonight. I suspect with the depth of water it's possible to have good days on the jigger here, so I'll bear that in mind. But yeah, looking forward to the match tomorrow. Just catching a few fish now. No idea what's in the lake apart from what it tells you in the pamphlet about fishing at White Acres. It's a little guide to sort of what stocks in each lake. But even though it says that there's tension barbel in this lake, I'm sure there's probably not many. I don't know, but I haven't looked any yet. And it doesn't really give you a guide on the sizes either. It just says that there's carp up to 20 pound in Pollowin, which some people refer to as a match lake. I guess that's what it was probably called a few years ago. And it says there's carp up to 18 pound in Jenny's, but outside of that, you know, I know it's, you know, 80 pound catfish and 30 pound carp in Nelson's and Pat's Pool as the specialist lakes. Outside of that, I don't know, but I've seen a couple of big lumps in this lake today. But everything seems to be sort of up the upper end of 3 pound F1s that I've caught. I've caught a couple of smaller ones, but yeah, a better stamp of fish than what I might normally catch at tunnel. So I don't think it will change too much. But yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, didn't see everyone. Right, hi John, how you doing? Each have a chat to each other. Right, make sure you hit the like button, and everyone else, welcome to the stream. Right, where have these fish gone? Maybe there's so many fish around me. They're eating everything I put in seconds. Just fishing 2 mils at that part. I'm told that, you know, there's a lot of micros used on the venue. I can see in the shop they sort of have equal amounts of. Is that crows doing? Okay, mate. So what are those things? What are they? So yeah, equal amounts of sort of 2 mils, 4 mils, and 6 mils on display. So doesn't really give me a hint of what people are using, but you're allowed 8 pints of bait on the match. No meat's allowed because it's not a festival, and the 8 pints of bait can either comprise of all 8 pints of pellets, or you can have up to, and any combination of, but up to 4 pints of pellets, casters, I think corn or hemp. I don't know if it's Magasan casters or corn and hemp, I'm not too sure, but I'll have another read of it tonight. But I'm certainly not going to bring 4 pints of hemp, so that's, I don't need to worry about that. I've got none. I'm not bringing 4 pints of corn either, so I don't need to worry about that either. So it's going to be a mostly pellet approach for me tomorrow. And I think I'll bring some, oh hello, how does it? I'll bring some, I'll have a little think about that tonight. I've tried some maggots down the edge in this lake. I've caught little perch and little roach. Whether they would get bullied out by the bigger fish, I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I think maybe a pellet approach might be better with some corn on the hook for down the margins, or pellets. So we'll see. Something like that. It's an awful shot. Sorry, you just see like loads of arm, don't you? Set up. There we go. That's probably better. My rig will go everywhere now, but it'll be a better view. Right, one more bite or fish in front of me, and then I'm going to go back down that edge and have another look. hopefully the fish have cleared out most of what's there. Although I can see dirt, I can still see dirt getting kicked up all along the margin. Way out of where I sort of put bait in. The fish just went solid. I got a white hydro in and I'm fishing 017 to 013, but I'm wondering if I should step it up to grey and put in a 015 hook length. I don't know. I'll have a little think about that tonight. These are certainly chunky old fish. Load of fish crashing on that far side. I've watched the little Catch More Media summary of the venue, which was really good actually. Helped give me some ideas. They say you catch along that bank, you know, a lot of chucking a method feeder, but I'm not sure you're going to need to. Not based on what I've had. I do realise that I'm pleasure fishing, but I think I might have enough going on with a long line top and bottom, short line, and then edge left and right. That could be more than enough to keep me busy for a match. Right, let's go back to this smaller pot. Afternoon, Andrew, and everyone else that's joined. Just catch me having a little bit of a pleasure session down at White Acres. Popped down on a little family holiday. Everyone else has cluttered off to the beach, and I thought I'd just carry on practicing. Which is in agreement with the missus, so we'll see. I wasn't really coming fishing really. Well, primarily coming because we wanted to go to the Eden project, but it was too far to drive for a day, and we thought we'd come down here somewhere, and then we sort of added the two together. She didn't mind if I brought the kids fishing, so we decided to come down here to White Acres. So, Eden project is done yesterday. A lovely time. Boys have been out on a zip line this morning. Off down the beach this afternoon. I've done some fishing with my daughter, and then we'll do some more fishing in Jenny's this evening, I think, just on a running line, pole float, and a pellet waggler rod. 8-pound line, 019 bottom, something like that. Took ourselves some monsters in there, I think, and then match in the morning, and that's either foul hooked, maybe that was one of them Crassio things. I've not caught one yet, but that looked like it could have been a contender, about a pound in weight. Went a little bit nuts, but pulled out. Somebody's trying to grab hold of that corn already. I wonder if that's what it is. Maybe, oh, I don't know, but certainly I think I put too much bait in the edge. Then I brought too many fish in with it. They've kicked it around all over the place, you know. It's a bit like the Maver Match This qualifier that I had at Tunnel Barn Farm, where I overdid it. And I caused just a disaster of a day. It's not a big fish, whatever that is. Don't recognise that. Yes, I do. I just didn't expect to catch a massive great perch. Look at that massive great, what's that, a leech on it? Get off. Massive perch on a piece of corn. Okay. Let's chuck a few pellets short, keep them interested. Hello, Terry. Yeah, am I? I feel very far away from home. But yeah, I thought what I'd do is I'd come down. The going project, I'd get on. I heard that they had an open match, fishing open, spend some time wandering around the lakes, and then if I liked it, see if I can get on one of the 4 main festivals down there. Thing about this F1 fishing, in order to get better at it, I just need to see, I need to compete more, see more anglers, fish more matches. That's how I'm going to get better. There's nothing else I can watch that's going to help me. I need to see people do it more, and then the best way to do that is to just fish against them. You know, if you look at the lineup next week in the spring spectacular that I'll fish at Tunnel Barn Farm, you know, I don't think from where I am I'm going to finish in the top 10, right? Obviously it'll be super nice, but what I'm going to get out of it is I'm going to fish against really good F1 anglers. How's that got? Fish is blowing up the bank. I'm going to fish against really good anglers for 4 days, so I'm obviously trying my best. It's cost me some money, but what's really valuable is 4 days of fishing with really, really, really good anglers, and you only get better if you fish against people that beat you, ultimately. Glorious sunny day this afternoon. I think it said it was going to be 18 degrees. Feels like 17 with a 5-mile-an-hour wind. They got crows the size of red kites around here. They're massive. I don't know if chucking loads of maggots down here would be better. I don't know. There was a lot of small fish when I fished maggots earlier. There was small perch, small roach. Maybe it's just not prolific enough right at this moment in time, but I'm not sure maggots is the way. I don't know. Really, Terry, do you drive that far every week to fish Sutton Courtney matches on the Thames? I know, we're talking about a different Terry. You're Craig's dad, I think. Right, mixing my Terrys up. You Craig's dad, Terry? Let me know. Then I can frame it properly in my mind. Yeah, that's right, because the other Terry that I'm thinking about lives in Portsmouth, Southampton. He doesn't live down here. Right, gotcha. God, this edge has gone from really good to just complete rubbish. Right. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pot an entire pot of ground bait in there. That's what I'll do. If in doubt. Actually it probably needs to be ground bait and micros. That's probably what I'm doing wrong. Maybe if it's ground bait and micros it would be better. Let's do all that. photos ago, I'll get a bite straight away here. Slopes away quite a lot, this line. You know, as I go out, next section, it's another 6 inches deep. Next section, another 6 inches deep. Say 4 inches, so you know, it continues to just drift away. Hi Adrian. I just feel like I'd be pinging 4 mils right now if I was fishing the match tomorrow. Pinging 4 mils, ready to fish it up in the water with a jigger or on the deck. It's absolutely going to be happening tomorrow, I think. Method rod set up, chucked to these islands. I've heard bomb and bread's also good. It's not my thing though, so I'm going to stick away. You know, I'm going to stay away from it. I'll stick to what I know tomorrow. Certainly lots of fish to be on this short line. Right. Right, I'm looking down that edge. I'm just going to keep an eye on it for a minute. I'm probably just putting way too much bait down there, not necessary. Fin it like it's carp, but it's not, it's F1. But loads of indications. I'm just waiting for the bite I can strike. Like floats just dotting around. There it was. Oh, I'm streaming. I'm streaming, just so you know. Stream's on. What's that? Burger and an apple. Nice. Do you want a catch? Do you want a catch? Huh? Go on, eat food. Stream's on, you can catch everything. Something for everyone. Unlike me. Right. That's the advantage of being somewhere. Look, the sun turns out with a burger and... Hold on, I get a burger and you get a burger and a half. Hold on. Hold on. What's going on? Everyone else gone to the beach? Huh? Where's everyone else gone? No one's gone to the beach. Okay. Are you going to the beach? Is that a yes? Right. I'm sure your mum said everyone to the beach is 2 o'clock. It's now 3:10. So there's a load of huge F1s in here, son. Like big F1s. There's meant to be Tench, Crucian, Crassio. I've got a Carp trying to bash into my float. That's about £6. I've seen a couple of Carp cruising. Right, yes, excuse me everyone for a second. I need to eat this burger that's arrived. So what I'll do, I'll mix up some micros into this ground bait. What's that? It's alright. No, you're okay. No, you're okay. Come. Don't leave it. Take it back. Yeah, carry it.
Can't run back.
Right, let's mix in some micros. That ground bait. Maybe that'll keep the fish feeding where I want them instead of just making a load of mess. When I'm fishing for carp down the edge, I'm generally just fishing straight ground bait and then potting corn. When it comes to F1 fishing, I know people mix a lot of micros with ground bait. Then I go and forget to do it. Should just keep the fish in the area that I'm trying to target them for a little bit more. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, cheeky. Fish went straight for underneath the platform on this nearest edge. It's like that, what it was doing. Saying that, first one to do it. Well, I say plenty. If this was a match, I'd be weighing in about 25 pounds. tell you what, let's put 3 maggots back on. I don't want to catch a little roach. Let's see. One thing I do know is these maggots are tiny. I've seen pinkies this big. Ah, right. I was going to ask Terry if Craig was coming next week. Excuse me. I haven't seen him for ages, but yeah, nice. See, that's the thing with Mac. Wow, maybe that's what's down that edge now. Maybe that's what's down that edge. Might just be too early in the day, and I went down there and I had a couple of F1s, and then, you know, a load of other fish have moved in. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's just those fishing that corn, and those skimmers are just moving it around. Who knows? It could explain quite a lot of things. There's a load of those fish down there. All of the liners. All of the indications but not bites. It could just be a load of small silvers. That's why you got to see people fish, you know. That's why you got to get, you know, get on a match and get down here and compete against other people and see if they go down the edge and what they're catching, and it helps you work it out. Certainly not the right fish down here or the right quantity of them if it just sits here like this without a bite. Never do anything to match catching nothing. Right, let's move this phone back round a minute. I'll just get some water with those micros, I think, drying out. It's a warm day today. Sun cream on for the first time in the year. So what should we do? Should we catch another fish here and then should I rig up a jigger and then try and catch some fish on the long pole? Feels like the right thing to do. Long time since I've fished a jigger. Oh, he's flipping heck. The crow just slammed into that other crow. I wonder if they're all deciding whether they'll do me in a fight. To be honest. Yeah, no mistake in that bite, was it? Giving up though. Got one of them can't be bothered massive F1s. They've stayed on this short line all... Foul, looked it in the face. They've stayed on this short line all day. I thought they would maybe they'd be here and then they would leave. I'll just show that fish actually. Yep. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, they've stayed on that short line all day. Maybe it's because I've not had tons and tons, you know, I've been catching a few and then leaving the line and stuff, I don't know, but they've been down there now for 4 hours. Which I'd say as long as I've been here, I guess. They are massive F1s. I'll be clicking them at £3 a fish. So yeah, I think you'll be alright if I was fishing here tomorrow. The weather's not going to be the same, and it's, you know, it's not going to be on my own, but I'd definitely be starting short on this short line, firing 4 mils long, feeding the edge, but might fish pellets and micros down the edge, not corn. And I have a method feeder if it's all going wrong to chuck to the island, but there seems to be plenty of fish to be caught on this line, you know. It's a short kit, short 4. But, you know, other lakes are different, but maybe not too much different. Put a couple of 4 mils in, I think. Oh yeah, not terrible. I was just trying to I'm like, is that so bright? I can't even read what's going on the phone. But yeah, how you doing? You catch me having a bit of, I don't know what I'm doing now. It's not practicing. I can't call this practicing. I know how to fish a short line. I'm just enjoying catching some fish in the gorgeous sunshine down at Whiteacres. I should put a jigger on and fish a jigger. I'm just wondering if I've got a float stop actually. I've gone and bought 2 jiggers from the shop, And now I'm just wondering if I'm going to have to go back in the shop in the morning to buy a float stop. Because you've got to have minimum 10 inches between the top of the float and the pole tip. And to maintain that on a jigger, you're going to have to use a float stop. Or a shot, I guess you could do. But float stop would be what I want to use. But yeah, for the moment, just catching some F1 short. So having spells, I'll get like a couple and then I'll miss a few bites. I don't know whether they disturb the bottom and it's a bit rubbish down there. Maybe that happens. But if I leave it alone and then they sort of just come back to it. I think if I was doing this tomorrow, I'd just switch to the long line. And then maybe just return to the short line later. I don't think I'm going to switch it to maggots. I think I'm just going to stay on pellets all day. One more fish, or one more good bite, and then we're going to set a jigger up, get some more pole out, make do, and just get my arm in casting, firing out some 4mm, and seeing if I can catch some fish up in the water. All right, that's what we're going to do. It's getting a bit windy, which is probably the wrong thing to do anyway, but let's just do it with extra cutter sections. And I'll just move this, because they're quite big actually. I don't want to use orange hydro, I want to use this white hydro. So I'm going to just move this rig onto another top kit. In fact, let's just do that now. Right, please excuse me while I do a little bit of rig maintenance. I will make up an extra white hydro kit tonight. These F1s are just a bit bigger. Start that now. Now, how big do you think my car is that we could have got me, the missus, 3 kids, and my match gear, and gear for them inside of one car? How big would that car have to be? Right, somewhere there should be a little jigger float by New Fish. Looks just like the ones made by Mather. Right, we're going to use a split shot at the top of the rig so the float can't go up further. It's about 6.5 foot out in front of me. So if I just jig on this top kit, it should be fine. Yeah, so to sarcastically answer your question, yes, we brought 2 cars. Which you can do no problem. You can get 2 cars on the parking for these lodges, no issue. So all easy. Right, so we'll fish something like that. Right, jig a float. Right, let's get some number 8s on here. That'll do the job. Number 8 at the top. That's 10 inches from there. Yeah. So let's check to see if that sinks. Yes, but another number 6, another number 8 wouldn't hurt. Best, but there'll be a pellet on there as well. Okay, might end up with another number 8 on there, we'll see. As I said, look, don't give me a hard time. It's a long time since I've fished with a jigger. You're not allowed meat, Neil, pleasure fishing, or on the open matches. You can only use it on the festivals. So that's all out. Monster Carp, how you doing? Right, how does that work? Okay, that's going to work. Right, so we'll fish that with a long 4. Not like that one. If I do that with a long 4, and then there's just those other bits of pole that I had out. Gonna be alright, maybe. Right, this is Mrs. live on stream. You're on stream, honey. So just be careful. Yeah. No, thank you. Okay. Oh, bye bye. Right. Right. So, it's not onto there, is it? Oh, mixed my pole up. I haven't done that. Right, everybody, here we go. Let's get it on. Back on the jigger. Okay. Okay, I'm fishing 14.5 metres, am I? Right, another section of pole needed. Oh, no, maybe it is the right pole. Sorry, I'm getting a right old confusion on here today about which pole I'm using. I have a spare. I think I've managed to mix it up slightly, so I'm going to have to check the sections tonight. I put another number 8 on that rig. It doesn't drop quick enough. Feel like it does anyway. So if we do that, now you can't see anything. Whew. Right. Now you can. Right, so give me a minute to remember how to fish with a jigger. Slowly down, and then back up, and then slowly down again. Every now and then give it a little jig just to see if there's a fish grabbed it in the mouth, until you get to the bottom and jig it up again. That's what I seem to remember. The only time I really ever did it was on High Pool at Tunnel Barn Farm, because High Pool is deep. And I think 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, in the Pole Masters, their ship was on High Pool and he took it apart using a jigger. And I assume you're not allowed to. I'll check that tonight, but if you can't make splash on the water with your pole tip, I'm fairly confident you're not allowed to flick a pole rig over. But I think what I would do is I would set this up to fish it on the deck. and then put the jigger over it if I've started to get fish on the drop, or I thought the fish were off the bottom. Because there's no way on earth this is a favoured method for me. Oh, there we go, fish on. Yeah, I wouldn't. No, fish off. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm ever going to set up and go, oh, I fancy fishing a jigger. Unless this turns into an amazing jigger fishing session in a minute. And I go, right, I'll do that tomorrow. If I really want to do this, I'd rather be chucking that method feeder over to that island tomorrow. Fish on. It's not a difficult method, you just got to remember what you're doing. Just got to remember that on that way down you've got to give a little jig, little jig, little jig, and then when you get to the bottom just bring it all the way back up. That's how I've always done it anyway. What is this? Is this a carp? I think I've broken down to this top kit a bit quick maybe. Looking at that landing net going, is that too small? This is not a small fish. Could be foul hooked. Could be a foul hooked carp coming backwards. Just keeps jerking every now and then. It's a bit weird. Doesn't feel like an 013 bottom fish though, I know that much. Carp written all over it, this is. It's not a carp here. I was catching loads of F1s. Wasn't sure it was in the lake, you know. Very suspicious that I can't get this fish's head up. Now it's going to come up, but I can't see it because it's in the sun. What is going on here? So I did read there was barbel in here and tapes. Maybe this is a, maybe that's what's confusing me. This is like a £6 barbel. I've got it on a jigger. Just want to see it. No, that'll be a lump of a carp. Hello, mate. Yeah, you can flap around. Did I hook you properly on it? Yeah, I did. Hooked you nicely in the bottom lip. Mine's a bit wrapped around it. What was I saying? Jigger fishing, it's brilliant. You'd be a nice bonus, look at that. £7 maybe? So yeah, as I was saying, jigger fishing is brilliant. Absolutely love it. It's my go-to. You know, if you're allowed to do it, then I'm doing it. Fish on. Fish on. This is funny now. I'm like, Jigger works amazing at this venue. That's what I say though about needing to fish matches, and then you see what other people do. £2.5 F1. You know, if I was fishing a match, I'd be like, hold on a minute, what's this fella doing next door with this jigger? He's going nuts. He's going to fire in 6 pints of 4 mils today. I'm giving up this negativity about the jigger, but actually not a bad method, is it? From an efficiency point of view, you know, it's an overshot rig. And if I remember tomorrow that my catapult is set pretty much perfectly for fishing it at 11.5 metres. Well, slightly short, 11 metres. I'm 1 off the graphic on my pole, so that's 13 metres on the graphic. What are you doing, ducks? Keep going a little bit too far with the catapult, but I'll fix that. Now I keep doing it at 13 metres. So the catapult was done perfectly. So tonight, cut some catapults back, which I've brought with me to do. I haven't done them yet, it's fish on. And then if I've got a load of deep water in front of me, then maybe I could start fishing a jigger first. I've had 3 fish in very short succession, and this is another decent fish in front of me now. This is quite funny. It's not a little F1 that. Not pulling like that. I don't think it is. Feels like a carp. I think it's just, I don't know, if I'm back on it tomorrow, here's another lumpy carp that's going to get made up tonight. Somehow I've lost the band off of that. You are absolutely beautiful. Come on, play the game. Okay, don't play the game. I was going to show everyone. Oof, it's a beautiful carp. I reckon you could fish paste on it now, Terry. You can still fish paste on it. But yeah, I don't know, maybe the 013's alright. Terry, how big do the carp go in here? Do you know? I'm assuming you know everything now about Whiteacres, based on the comments. So, how big do the carp go in these lakes? They say up to £20 in Polluin, up to 18 in Jenny's. Forget the specimen lakes, but things like Trelawney, Python, you know, places where Twin Oaks, where the match might be tomorrow. I haven't fished a jigger for a long time, and I know you don't really sort of forget it, you know, and it's sort of like I'm fishing an overshotted rig and, you know, that type of thing. You know, I know what's going on and how the rig works, but suddenly I've had 2 big carp. I've had 2 carp, £6, £7, £3 F1. And I'm wondering if I should have 015 bottom on. Now I'm happy that I've come for this practice. focusing a little bit too much on pellets and not enough on jigging my rig, I think. No way there's those 3 fish there and nothing else. No way. Can't see that phone at all. Right. Right with me. Okay, cool. But not a lot. Right, it's the mainstay. Terry's the mainstay of the carp, like the ones I've caught, 5, 6, 7 pounds. If they are, then I'll just stick with using 013 bottoms. I'll happily catch a 10-pound carp on a 013 on a white hydro. But I say happily. Maybe not happily, but it's coming in. So yeah, I think maybe it'll be a case of doing this for a bit, and then maybe like, right, now drop down underneath it, have a look. Back short. Chuck a feeder down the edge. I'm not jigging enough. Too far with the ground, the pellets. Just thinking about my pellets for tomorrow, what size I want. Maybe you could catch some fish on the bomb, you know? Bubbles coming up in front of me now. I guess that there's potentially a load of fish on the bottom. That wind's dropped, look. Potentially a load of fish on the bottom. I'm firing in pellets like crazy now. Yeah, I'm just thinking you could chuck a bomb over there, just fish it with 8mm pellets. These F1s are big enough. So options: fish the bomb with 8mm pellets, fish a method feeder, waft a raw 8mm pellet on the hook, jigger, 6mm pellet on the hook, maybe an 8mm, 4mm pellets firing out, short micros, 4mm, 6mm hard pellets down the edge. I think micros and hard pellets might be how I would start. Ground bait you're allowed for free, so I'll make a kilo of ground bait up. Yeah, there's loads of bubbles come up in the peg now. But if I had a deck rig now, I think I'm going to be catching carp and F1s on the deck, but I've not set that up, and I'm not going to either. I'll have it ready for tomorrow, but I'm not doing that for today. And then, yeah, it's not wide enough to fish. Oh, I don't know. You could have a little bomb chuck on here. Where's this? This is 11 metres. So it's got to be 25 metres wide. I think they fish bomb and bread. 8mm pellets. What do I want? I want micros for down the edge and micros for in front. So that's 2 units. I'm going to have 8 units of bait. I reckon 2 of them are going to be micros. We'll do that. 2 units of micros. One unit of 6mm. 2 units of 4mm. That gets me to 5. 1 unit of corn. Don't know. Two more units of 4mm. Could be. Because I'm now thinking, are you allowed to flick a rig? I don't mean turn a rig over, splash, 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 but you're allowed to plop a rig. I gotta find that out. Because it'd be worth having one of them set up. Just for fish to see to mug. I've seen quite a few mug fish today. But maybe my predominant attack is going to be micros on the bottom, short, 4mm, long, 6mm on the hook, 4mm, catapulted in, potted in. Jigger was going to be amazing. Now I've caught 3 fish on it and then nothing. I think potentially because I've put too much bait in and they've gone to the bottom. I don't know. That's what the blows are. It's going to be fun tomorrow, and it's not going to be like this weather. Weather's going to be back up to nearly 20 miles an hour wind tomorrow. So fishing long like this isn't going to be happening, is it? I'm going to be wanting to fish short down the edges and method. Right. 1 bag of micros might not be enough if I'm going to fish short with it, down the edge with it, and on a method feeder. So I'll fish a hybrid, I won't fish a method. So I just had a carp sucking then to my left, and I've gone and oops. Oh, I had hooked one. Come off. There's one sucking at the bank. So yeah, maybe I need three pints of micros, 3 pints of micros, 3 pints of 4 mils, pint of 6 mils, and a pint of corn, maybe. Yeah, maybe that could be all right. If it's good short, switch micros to 4 mils. But yeah, if it's calm, because the wind's not on every part of this venue at the same time. So if it is calm, then I could see me flicking a rig long. You know, catapult fish short, catapult bait long, see a fish moving, go along, flick a rig on it. I could see that happening tomorrow. But visibility might be a bit rubbish. There's loads of blows now, right, on the bottom. So let's be clear, right? There's a load of fish in my peg. But this rig is a short kit and that's not deep enough. So I think I'm probably 1.5 foot from the bottom. So potentially the fish are all just, I'm just jigging it above their heads. But there's loads of blows. So there's definitely fish down there on the bottom feeding. Right. Okay, well, let's jiggery for the moment, I think. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dump a load of bait down this edge. Because I fancy that. Because I've got it made up. How's everyone doing? You alright? Don't mind me just talking to myself. So let's put a pot of ground bait and micros down this edge. Right, let's get that corn down there. Chuck a handful of pellets as well. Come on, fill it in. Swells there already. Of course there is. Let's catch another fish short, I think. Try and do that a second, catch a fish short and then have it down the edge. It's definitely jigger fish to be had. We've worked that out. But weather conditions tomorrow are completely different. Yeah, I think it could be all about the edge tomorrow because of the wind. Julian. It could be all about the edge. edge and short, you know. So I think it must be out. They must have decided already where the match is going to be tomorrow. I think they said they decide Wednesday afternoon, and then the draw is done at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it's posted by 8:30 in the morning, so you can see it at 8:30 and then just drive to the peg, or push stuff to the peg, I should say. The thing about 4 mils is 4 mils gives me the opportunity to. This was tomorrow. You know, you can. Okay, I think that's because maybe I'm chucking these 4 mils in now. You can get a few fish and then, you know, leave it to it. It's going to be fun though. I'll live stream it if I can. If I can't stream it, then, you know, I'll have my cameras with me. I will record the match. I don't know when it's gonna. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get it up on the site. I'm down here till Saturday morning. Saturday morning I'm driving home. Then I've got to sort my gear out, ready for practice match at Tunnel Barn Farm on Sunday, and then 3-day festival from there. But gear's all sorted for that, rigs are all made, hook lengths are all tied, baits ordered, which I've got to get some more on Saturday. That reminds me, I've got to call somebody tomorrow. So yeah, so that's all looking good. So that'll give me 5 matches I'll have to edit and get up. Loads of fish blowing out where I've been firing those 4 mils. But I feel somewhat practiced if we end up on Poloing tomorrow. I don't know, but let's see. It's 9 foot deep, I think, off the high bank in that place, so definitely some jigger fishing required. And I'm not looking, and I can feel the elastic get pulled out of the pole. It's a lovely venue. This lake, I was on Python Lake yesterday in the evening. That was really nice. Nice little lake. Smaller fish, you know, smaller carp, like 1 to 4 pound it seemed that they were. That was a really pretty little lake. I did say I would go and catch some lumps down Jenny's tonight, but it's now 5 o'clock, so maybe that's not going to happen. I'm just going to stay here. Because by the time I pack up, although everything is ready for Jenny's, but I could just stay here. It's like 4 times I've gone to net that fish and it's not got its head up. A little carp by any chance? I see what I'd really like it to be. Please be a barbel or a barbel. Please be a barbel. It's not a barbel. This is a mirror carp. No. I gotta change this to white hydro tonight, this orange. It's all good. I've got everything with me. I've brought the kitchen sink, my friend. So, let's get down that edge. Sort this pole out. I'm going to fish short for. Right, let's try a single bit of corn again. Now I keep seeing all these carp. It should be good. Let's change that pot for the big pot. Piece of corn, a load of micros in the ground bait. Come on, it's got carp written all over it. Are we ready? Swirl out to the left. Come on, don't knock the rig about, just eat the corn. Feels like there's like 8 fish there. What I could do when I fish here tomorrow, I could have 2 lines up the margin, one short that I feed relatively negatively, and then if things don't work out, big pot further up. I could do that. I'm not always a fan of that, but do that straight under this platform. Get lost. You know, a little carp. No. Maybe pellets better, I don't know. There's a hook bait. I think that's what I'll start on tomorrow. Micros and hard pellets down the edge. Well, no, start on, I mean down the edge, start on, and then I'll have a line where I might dump a load of ground bait and micros. So yeah, I need at least 3 pints of micros in my 8-pint limit tomorrow. So just blowing the bait all around. It's not very... That's why I think hard pellet and micros might be better down there. I don't like fishing expanders really, so hard pellets it'll be. The ground bait's drawing them in, but I can't nail them. Maybe I should be chucking more maggot in, but I think maggot's too risky to bring tomorrow. I think I'll just leave it out altogether. I don't know enough about the lakes, and I won't be able to get enough info when I draw it, when I get, you know, when I find out anyway. So I'm just more inclined that I want to put bigger particles down there. But maybe I'll start with 2 mils and then potentially I'll just put some 4 mils down the edge. So I think 2 mils and 4 mils, That's 6 pints. Then a pint of 6 mils. And then a pint of corn. To make up my 8 pints, something like that. I think there's a load of small fish in this edge. Just bashing this around all over the place, going for that ground bait. See, it goes in and it sort of goes dink dink and it gets bashed about a little bit. It just smells of like skimmers and other fish, roach, just swarming in that edge. That's what it feels like. There's no carp, there's no F1s, there's no proper bites. This is silverfish. So, let's fill it in, he says. Alright. Let's fill it in. Let's get a load of micros. In fact, let's get all those micros in that ground bait. Mix it all up. I can fish down this short line again for a minute. And let's really fill it in. There's carp in here. Maybe you've got to put a load of bait in to get them. This is like I'm at Gold Valley now, fishing Gold Lake. Right, let's leave that for a minute. Catch something else short. Yeah, it could be. Could be, you're right, it could be 6 mils down there. Just chucking 4 mil, I don't know. I'll have a little think. But it might not even be this lake, do you know what I mean? But it just appears to me that there's a load of, I can't call them nuisance fish because I don't want to, but yeah, a load of small silvers. And the other stuff isn't coming to bully them out. So let's try and dump a load of ground bait down it. Let's see. It's nice though, I like it when you have a little think. Doesn't work out to plan. Do you know what I mean? Python Lake last night was completely different. You know, I was just chucking in some ground bait and some corn, and I was getting decent clean bites, chucking in little nuggets of ground bait. You know, it was kind of just working out. Maybe I should have done that here, just chuck in some balls of ground bait. Just make some noise for those carp. Still loads of blows on my jigger line. Anyway, it's all a bit of fun. But yeah, if I could just imagine now fishing that long line on the bottom, firing 4 mils, 6 mil on the hook, just catching fish on the deck, and then chucking the jigger if I get some liners or see some swells. That could be a great tactic tomorrow in this venue. But not negate this short line. This short line's fabulous. If I draw this lake, he says, bear in mind I am the only person on the bank. So I've got tonight more white hydro, change some elastics in some catapults, make up some long rigs, 4B14s and 4B16s. I don't need many, just 2 of each. Put them on long kits, make them super long, I think. And then what I don't want to do tomorrow is to put a rig on and go and ship out and then find I can't get to the bottom of the lake. That would be a bit of a disaster, especially because you've got to leave this 10 inches between float and pole tip as well. You know, that consumes a few inches. I've been saying you could come back to this short line, and no, maybe you can't. That? They've had a few. I've had a few. The ground bait, they don't. I think they're just messing about with it. But yeah, so it's just not quite right, if that would make sense. Still caught loads, but short line's been the best line. But yeah, this one here. Ba-ba-dum-ba-bum. It's not happening there, is it, for a second? Right, let's have a look down this edge. Take that pot off. Start chucking just little balls of ground bait in, I think. That's what I'm going to do. Terry's still watching. That's exactly what his boy would be telling me. Craig will be saying, chuck, in fact, Craig, you might be watching. Chuck balls of ground bait in, Graham. So whatever that was, it's come straight down this way. Fish though, just bumped it. See there, again. Now swell, swell, swell. Let's make a bit of noise. Rig's dancing all over the place again. Something spooked out the peg, big fish. Oh. That was off and away, that was a carp for sure. Let's just rehook that. So in addition to the 8-pint limit of bait, you're also allowed 2 kilos of ground bait. This is a bag of that Sonia Baits F1 sweet, that's a 2 kilo bag. And you're also allowed a kilo of worms, but I don't really fancy buying a kilo. Right, finally. But I think it's maybe that there's so many little fish around where I am. I've got to put more I really want to think this is a barbel, the way this is fighting. I used to fish a little farm lake near where I work with a colleague. We used to catch barbel in there. They used to fight a bit like this. Oh, maybe the line was wrapped around it. I bet it's another little carp. Please be a little barbel. There, the way it just turns its head there really sharply doesn't say to me carp. It's a long time since I've caught one of those little barbel. No, it's a lump. Oh, come on. What's it doing then? It's just flicking its head a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy fish. Might be that they're thinner, you know, that's a thin old carp, that is, a lot thinner than I'm used to catching. So maybe I need to make a bit of noise by throwing the ground bait in, and I've got to put a decent amount in, otherwise it's just silvers. Could be that they just come in, it's the end of the day, but all could be. Easy, crow. Oh, straighten the hook. Look at that. Actually straighten the hook out on that fish. The size 16 SLWG, I don't straighten them very often. Yeah, so it could be that I just need to put more bait in. Just little things for me to remember tomorrow. If I get the same thing happening, you know. $2 kilos is a lot of ground bait. Size 14 Kaizen would be better than a size 16 SLWG as well. But yeah, maybe just a little bit more noise. Crow, not the bag. This is like down by the other platform nearly. I think I've got an 021 rig in the bag. Maybe I do need a... This is a big lump. Balanced though, this white hydro, this rig, so you know, it's just be time to get them in. But if I was on a peg like this now, not a small fish there. Every time I bring it near the top, it goes nuts. Give it up. Okay, you maybe because you're coming backwards. It's too big. It's too big. Too big. You're right in there. Nice common mirror, sorry, hooked beautifully in the back. Right, we're going to switch this rig in a sec. Just because I can. Good, another big mirror. Nice fish. Right. So let's quickly-ish, she says, more bait. And a couple of pots of bait, I reckon. Not that one. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. I think I've got one. Right, this is 021. It feels like 021. Hello, V Gates. Whereabouts in Germany you calling from? Right, I've got one rig that I could use. Let's quickly stand this up. So we'll go to an 021, 019. Size 12. This is what I need set up for tomorrow. Where if it goes like this, and now clearly the target is carp, 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 carp. I can switch the rig. We'll just have it ready. I've got 2 hours in the morning. I just need it on the top kit. Right, 021 to 019, size 12. Black hydro. Have we got any more corn? Yes, because I bought that in the shop today. More corn. I remember in one of the Pole Masters festivals I was on top pole, and I tried double corn, and I was falling behind. I had Jimmy Brooks on my left, and I was like, I can't beat this guy at catching F1s. So I started to really fill it in down my left hand edge. We're at Tunnel, colour number 8. We're at Tunnel Barn Farm, and I was on top pool. Jimmy was outclassing me. As you would expect. And I started to fill it in down the left hand side. Saw a couple of swirls, got a black hydro kit out, and then I finished first in the section. I overtook him and beat him. If there's a opportunity at some point to switch this match tomorrow to catching carp, then I'm all in. I'm all in for it. Right, so back again. We've switched from 017, 013, size 16 SLWG, single grain of corn. So I'm now fishing 021 to 019, size 12 SMWG double corn. And let's see, maybe size 14 Kaizen. It would be a better option on the 015, but I don't have one made up. I don't think I have anyway. I'll have a look in a sec. Because they're not huge carp, but they shouldn't have problem getting double corn in their mouths. Let's just see. Just put in 2 more pots of ground bait, so that's another 500 ml of ground bait and micros have gone in, plus another 50 ml of corn. As well, so I might just give this a minute. But yeah, maybe a Kaizen 14 single grain might be a little less barbaric, given what I'm fishing for. They're not double figure carp, are they? It's just how my brain goes. Carp, right, get it on. Because I could catch bigger ones, you know. Where there's fish this size, there can be bigger ones, but let's keep these little balls of ground bait in. Making some noise. This is what I'm used to doing, you know. This is down the edge of Syndicate Lake rig. There we go. Just a question of is it too much for fishing here? Now you're not carp, but that's what it's just to show you. Know, these F1s it's a big F1, but you can easily get that hook and that bait in its mouth. Oh, I can get it out pretty quick. Right, so if you just join in, you catch me at, I'm fishing at White Acres today, down in Cornwall in the UK. It's a renowned 5-day festival venue, and I'm down there on a family holiday. I've managed to persuade the other half that it'd be a great idea to let me fish an open match, and today I'm having a little bit of a practice for it, and just trying some things out, trying to get some things right in my head. I was struggling to catch down this edge. It's either due to the time of day, could be, or just, you know, I've upped the bait that I'm chucking in, and I'm potting a lot more bait and I'm making a lot more noise. And since that's happened, I've had 2 carp, that F1, I think another big F1. I caught some fish on a jigger earlier. I caught 2 carp and an F1 on a jigger. There was clearly a load of fish on the bottom underneath them, but I've not fished that today. I'm just trying to practice a few things. I don't need to practice fishing the long pole on the deck. And I caught some fish short, and I'm trying to work out if this was towards the end of my match tomorrow. The wind is going to be a lot more tomorrow. I've not checked the forecast today. I was told don't bother checking the forecast in Cornwall the day before because it changes. Just check in the morning, and then you'll know what the weather's going to do for the day. Because we're so close to the coast, it's quite unpredictable. Hello, little bird. What are you? What's this little bird? Anyone know? What's that? Squeaky? You squeaky bird? Yeah, you are, aren't you? And some of these maggots are from Turnacasters of them. So yeah, I'm just trying to work out how my match could end tomorrow, and if there's enough decent sized carp, and I've only got this lake to go on, but if there's enough, then I could easily switch to carp down one of these edges, switch to double corn, pile in the ground bait and micros, really go for it. Other thing I could do, I could get some worm. I could fish a worm head down here, but I do like fishing corn for carp. So I think a pint of corn, well, I was saying that, the pint of corn restriction. I could put corn and pellets down. I could put corn and pellets. You only allowed 8 pints of bait, so I'm trying to work out what would be the best sort of setup of that 8 pints. I just need to keep making some noise down here. So yeah, it could be 4 pints of micros, because I need a pint for fishing on the methods, depending on the lake. You can decide this in the morning though. It could be 4 pints, pint for the ground bait. It says ground bait and micros. It could be a pint in there. It could be a pint for short, pint for a feeder. So it's at least 3 pints of micros. That much is clear. And then a load of 4 mils, 4 pints of micros, 3 pints of 4 mils, a pint of a pint of corn. No, 3 micro. Oh, it's tricky. 3 micro, 3 4, 1 6, and 1 corn. And I can always chuck the 6 and corn down the edge. Yeah. And if it's like this, then everything's going to get, you know, everything can go in more micro. So yeah, I'll do that. 3 2 mils, 3 4 mils, 1 6 mil, 1 corn. Maybe that's my 8. and then 2 kilos of ground bait. And we're all good. And it'll be freezing cold tomorrow. The wind's going to be howling the hoodie. I can only fish short all day long and it'll be completely different. Having never fished with bait limits, it's quite, you know, I've got it in my head. It's like, what's going on? They're not lined up down here, are they? There's some fish down here, but they're not. Carp sucking on that grass on that island again. They're not. It's not solid down here, is it? I don't think the rig really is anything to worry about, the gauge of the rig. In fact, I've stepped it up. I don't think the fish care at all if they're carp that size. Come on fish, what's going on? They're back to sort of knocking the rig around again. If I don't get a carp in a minute, I'm just going to put more bait down there. Just that to ask, did I? Carp, or is it a little one? Okay, it's big enough. Big enough fish. Oh, 3.5. Yeah, I'm catching a few, Julian. There's a few to be had. Let's put more bait in. We'll go another pot of ground bait. Push that out. We'll go another half a pot of corn. These waves will be 3 times the height tomorrow, potentially. See, I need another fish now is what I want. If it's really good, I want another one now, but fish jumping around. I think there's a big, I caught a big perch earlier today. I think there's more down here chasing small fry. As the light starts to fade, it's the perfect time to catch perch because they go on the hunt. That's why I think all these little small fry keep spooking in this edge. I think there's perch down here on the hunt. Oh. Pulled the ring out my hand then. So I think if it's like this, then I'll feed down the edge. I don't know that I'll go straight back over it. Maybe I'll go short again, try and nick a fish, then come back down the edge. It's not crazy good. You know, I'm waiting ages for a bite. But they are coming in. Stop making that noise because I've potted the bait in. Let's go back to throwing balls of ground bait again every couple of minutes. Let me just move that bucket. See him swirling further up the bank, like another section and a bit. So there's carp in the margins, having a look. Big swirl, must have been a liner. Good enough for me to strike at though. I can't read chat at the moment. Chat's behind me and I'm fishing the other way, so I can't see what you're typing if you're typing. But hello, if you're in the channel, you just joined me for sort of the end of a session. I'm down at Whiteacres in Cornwall in the UK. I'm fishing a lake called Trelawney Lake today. Just going down for a bit of a practice and a fish with my daughter earlier. She's since left and gone to the beach with her mother, and left me to just try some things out, preparing for an open match tomorrow that I'm fishing down here. Just been trying to catch some fish short and trying to catch in the edge and seeing what it's like, what the stamp fish is like, you know, in this lake. I know it varies, but maybe I'll draw this lake tomorrow and I'll know more of what I'm dealing with. I've got a sort of plan lined up in terms of bait. I've got an 8-pound bait limit before ground bait, so I've got that worked out for tomorrow. And then I've got a rough idea of how I want to fish it tomorrow. It's going to be a hard pellet match with a load of ground bait down the edge, I think, with micros in it. But that's sort of the rough idea. It might all change in the day. I don't know what the lake's going to do. If the match is on that Python lake I fished yesterday, then the carp are much smaller, so it'll change it a little bit. But they did come in the edge a lot easier, so we'll see. I've caught a few fish today. I've had a bunch of carp on the pole, got a couple down the edge here, a few on the jigger. I caught a load of big F1s short, and I'm sure that if I'd have put a rig up long, I'd have caught a bunch. I'd have caught a bunch long as well. But it just seems to be on this lake here right now, just putting bait in is not enough. I've got to chuck some balls of ground bait in and make some noise to draw the carp in. Might be because no one's fished it for a few days or a week, I don't know. I think the festival was the week before last, I think. I don't think it was last week. Oh, it could be last week. Could be that they had a festival on it last week, so I think it would have got fish then. And they seem to have massive crows down here that are like fighting each other. So yeah, so I've sort of got some ideas. The weather's going to be different, but I don't know how different. I don't believe it's going to be as warm as it was today. It was about 17 degrees. So it was nice, put some sun cream on, still got burnt, as usual. So yeah, I've got a little idea. And match tomorrow is draw 8:30 in the morning. That's when I'll find out. And then fishing's 10:30 till 3:30. I don't know if I can stream. There's not many places on the venue where I can, having had a walk around the other day, but I didn't think I could stream here until earlier today, so we'll see tomorrow when I get to my peg. Failing that, I'll record the match. It'll be up on the channel in a little bit of time, and it's all prep. Look at that, a crow just attacked that goose. It must, I don't know if that was on camera. I just got to move that camera a bit. The crow came down, the goose is eating the grass. The crow just came down and thumped it. Crow's attacking other crows, and it's happy to have a go at a Canada goose. Strange, but yeah. So this is working, not working. I've had a couple of carp, and now I've changed rig, and now I'm not getting them. Maybe there's too much bait. Don't know. I don't think the rig will spook them. It's not that. I'm fairly sure it's not that. I've stepped up to double corn off single corn. Maybe they don't like that. Maybe the right hook is a 14 Kaizen hook. Give me the capacity to take a piece of corn, but stepped up strength a little bit from the SLWG. Having straightened one earlier. There's definitely fish back there, but I think they're just maybe F1s again. When it's like that, it makes me just think it's F1s, you know, just the rig sort of drags away. I felt a fish then. The rig drags away and then I go to strike and just, you know, pull it out of the fish's mouth. As if it's just got hold of the 2 bits of corn. £5 carp have got huge mouths. So there's no problem getting that double corn in the mouths. If there was enough of them there. Maybe I got lucky getting 2 so quick, I don't know. Who knows? Like that, I'd hold of that then. Whew. You can't throw ground bait that far, Julian. Just to answer your question, why fish? When I fish down the edge, I fish so close. And you don't need to fish as far as that. It's not necessary. You can't chuck bait down 8 metres. So you've always got to then feed with the pot. So you can't, like I'm doing now, keep chucking little nuggets of ground bait down the edge to attract fish. And, you know, so it's just not necessary. If I was fishing at gold, you know, and I'm just potting ground bait, then maybe I'll fish top kitten 1. But, you know, like now, when I want to chuck a nugget of ground bait, it's a lot easier chucking that on a top kit than it is further. And if you're at tunnel, you'll see they come right to the platform. Right, the fish don't care about being so far away. Swells in the peg there now. Now, I think those swells have attracted. There you go. I think it's chucking that ground bait in that's drawing those bigger carp in. You can't pot the bait in. I don't think it's the ground bait. It's the noise. Oh, I say bigger carp. That's not bigger carp, is it? I think the noise is drawing more fish in. Maybe that's why I caught on the jigger. You know, it's the noise, he says. Maybe that's what they want. Just more noise. Yuck. Slimy fish. Fish has grabbed that, isn't it? Oh. Okay, failed at that one, did I? Not a carp scale, it's F1. Yeah, maybe the hook's a bit brutal. Maybe the double corn's a bit brutal. Let's try and have a think about that tonight. Yeah, and I've fished enough matches, Julian. The other thing is just I've fished enough matches at places like Tunnel Barn Farm and Gold Valley, and just people don't fish that far down the bank. They might have a line that far down the bank, but what they'll probably have is they'll have a line short like this and then have a line long as well. But they don't want to catch on the 8 metre line, they want to catch on the top kit line. It's just a lot closer. If you're not thumping around your peg and people aren't walking around, fish don't care about coming in that close to you at all. That's my experience. If you watch, if you ever get to see a guy called Leon Seabright fish at Tunnel, he won the Spring Spectacular last year. He fishes what's called a toenail line. It's right off his platform. It's right off his platform. That's what he calls it, the toenail line. He's not fishing 8 metres. I don't think he's got 8 metres of pole. Say that, he probably has, but you know what I mean. You never see him fishing that long. This was 8 metres of pole. It would be out here at the moment, right? I'd be out here with it, thinking about shipping it back. Whereas on the top kit, I've already shipped it back, caught the fish, unhooked the fish, and I'm back on my way back out again. That's my view anyway. That's my view. That's why I say you've got to watch people fish versus everything else, you know. I've got a lot of respect for people, but you know, I could point to videos that say, you know, fish up in the water, fish down in the water, fish in the margin, fish short, fish this, fish meat, fish pellets, fish corn, you know, do everything. Any particular thing you can think of, do anything, you know. And my view is a lot of that is for features, for content and magazines. I could fish a top kit here and I could plumb up 10 metres down the bank, 11 metres down the bank, and fish off the leg of that next platform. And I'd catch off the leg of that next platform, no doubt about it. But when you come to a match, that's when you see what people really do. And that's what I'm interested in, right? What do they do in match conditions? How do they fish in match conditions? And I can control my bit of water here. Whereas if I go and start fishing the leg of that platform, and the guy opposite, he starts fishing the leg of that platform, right? If I start catching a load of fish, he can go to the opposite, the other leg, and dump a load of bait and either ruin my peg or drag my fish that I've dragged into there over to his side. He can't get these fish here, right? Not that I'm getting a bit ranty, but the guy to my right, if it's peg one, miss one, he cannot interrupt me what I'm doing here. If I fish to that platform, he can interrupt by fishing to the leg, the other leg of that same platform, or her. But so the closer you are, in my mind, the more you're able to control that little bit of water in front of you. the further you go away, the closer you're getting to the next person. And that's not what I want to do. Is my view. That's not saying it's all good tips. I think it is all good tips in certain conditions and stuff, but if you go to Tunnel Barn Farm or places like that, when the match starts, people do not start shipping 8 meters down the bank. Not in my opinion, in my experience. That ain't what happens. Yeah, if you're on an end peg and you're fishing into a little bay, it's all different, right? I'm just talking about in those instances. I've fished down to the, if I'm fishing on the end peg thing, I to the far. I didn't think we were talking about that. Got a kingfisher going around. It's quite nice. Right, I think I want another couple of fish, maybe one more fish. If I catch another F1, I'm going back out for another carp. If I catch another carp, then I'll call it a day, because it's getting cold now all of a sudden, and I've got a t-shirt on and I'm looking around and I don't see another top, so I'm going to catch another fish, F1, go back in again, carp, call it a day. I've got to get some rigs ready tonight. And get my thoughts ready for the morning. Definitely a lovely venue though. This lake's beautiful, really pretty. Platforms are nice, they all stick out in the water a nice distance, so you can do what I'm doing, turn and fish your margins. It's all very nice, well kept banks. There's a bit of grass growing into the lake here, but it's not too bad. So yeah, venue looks like it's pretty immaculate. There's a bucket for disused bait. They don't want you slinging it about, which I understand. And yeah, oh, it's noisy bird. There you go, have some maggots. Anyone know what that bird is? Where is it? It's down there. Right, where is the stream cut out? No, I think it's just lagged. Hopefully it's going to come back. Hopefully it's not been too bad. So I didn't think I had any ability to stream, and then the connection seemed alright, so I'm going to think the colder it gets. Alright, looks like my signal could be rubbish. So I'm going to catch another fish and then call it a day either way. It's getting colder. Come on. Definitely throwing that bait. So I've not had any carp since I put the bigger rig on. But I don't know if that's because there's just no more big carp coming in the peg. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to fish it like I did earlier today. Maybe I'll fish a 14 hook, but just on the 013. And maybe I fish a size 14 Kaizen, something like that. And then have this rig ready just in case it looks like it's carp central, or one of the lakes where it's known to be much bigger carp in. But the draw will be on, I think the Facebook page is called Match Results for White Acres, and they post the draw up in the morning, and then you'll all know where I am, which peg and which lake, and we'll see how we get on. It will all be videoed and hopefully live streamed. But definitely today, throwing balls of ground bait in this edge has been more effective than just potting bait. Something to think about. I bet if I picked up that other rig, I'd cook a carp straight away. Bumped it, whatever it was. Might stick a bit of pole on. Might stick a bit of pole on. Might stick a bit more pole on. This is why I don't want that 013 rig on. This is not an 013 bottom fish. Of that I am fairly certain. only seen a stone float once. I'm glad I didn't pick that other rig up now. I was going to pick that other rig up. Oh, stone float. Crow, cut it out. Well, it's either a lump or it's pellets, and I am hoping it's just a lump. It's a lump. That's a lump. Come to Trelawney, they say. Catch some Carasio, they say. Oh, looks come out. That's easy. Right. Right, well that's quite a big fish, isn't it? Let's see if I can show you before we finish. You panic. There we go. That is a double figure carp. I reckon that is probably £12. A lovely fish to finish on. Right, I'm just going to make some rigs. Hopefully I'll see you for a live stream tomorrow. If not, I will I'll let you know what's happening as quick as I can. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hope you have. A little bit of fishing down at Trelawney at White Acres, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.